Our victory over the Automatons has been well publicized over the last 12 hours, so congratulations ladies and gentlemen, Helldivers and Helldiverettes. The galaxy map looks ominously empty today after the onslaught at Durgan, which saw over 350,000 players concurrently taking the fight to the bots for the final push. We still have around 6,000 divers in the system, presumably wondering what the hell happened. Lord knows I put in my own reps with the squad toward the end, wondering what had become of my precious Sickle and Quasar as the planet's infernal weather completely nuked their heat sinks. Those were Helldives in the truest sense. Would you believe that across a dozen Helldives, I only ran across a single factory walker? Feels bad, man, but that thing was darned impressive, so I'm glad I experienced it at least once. There was nothing quite like watching the entire squad manically unload 500-kilo bombs in an attempt to bring it down. So, with the Red Menace finally gone from the galaxy, or presumably contained to their treacherous homeworld of Cyberstan, let's put some puzzle pieces together and see whether we can work out what's going to happen next in our galactic tabletop universe. The latest major order reads, with the Automatons eradicated and Terminids contained, the time has come to work toward a more prosperous future for all citizens. To that end, constructions of new, safer and more efficient E710 farms will soon commence. On these farms, Terminids will be raised in spacious enclosures and enriched with state-of-the-art nutritional supplements, all under careful supervision. Clear the way for safe construction of the E710 farms. I absolutely love the nod to factory farming there. We're basically treating the Terminids like salmon at this point. The lore of this game is so dehumanizing that you can't help but smile. So it appears that they want us to farm the Terminids for space oil in preparation for some larger offensive. For players like myself who almost exclusively fight automatons, this is a bit bittersweet. Going back to nuking bugs is fun in its way, but nowhere near as strategically enriching as obliterating socialist robots. I'm still waiting for the Warbond, which gives us access to Doogie Howser's trenchcoat to complete the Helldivers experience.
It's afraid. It's afraid!
I highly doubt that the developers are going to lock off half their enemy unit base for too long. Either we're going to see a small flare-up of automaton presence in a localized sector, or we're going to see the first incursions of the Illuminate. My money is on the latter. I'm guessing Joel and crew don't want to spread us too thin when the new front opens up, and to give everyone time to really focus on the new enemy types and best strategies to face them. The bugs are statistically the player favorite race to demolish, so it makes sense to remove the automatons if we're going to swap in and introduce a new species. We of course also have the new Warbond coming in just 3 days, combined with people testing an assortment of new stratagems like the anti-tank mines and cluster rocket launcher. Making sure these all come out with enough time to breathe and for players to appreciate them is going to be key. Not to mention for people like myself to have time to do all the necessary stress testing. Speaking of which, it's going to be super weird stress testing new Warbond weapons only on Terminid units. I've never actually had new guns drop with no access to bots for testing. I guess we'll just have to use our imaginations for a little while. In some good news, the developers have mentioned that there is a hotfix arriving shortly to address the extraction crashes that many of us have been suffering from. I think I experienced this no less than half a dozen times yesterday, so that will be very welcome. It's interesting how the Helldivers patching experience is very much like a game of whack-a-mole. We think a patch has come along and sorted out our crash issues, only for another to reintroduce them elsewhere. Owning a software company, I can only sympathize with the devs because hunting down bugs across so many different systems is absolute hell, whether literal or figurative. It's undoubted that the Illuminate are greedily eyeing our section of the galaxy. Having fought them an absolute ton back in the Helldivers 1 days, I'm curious how the strategy is going to differ for taking these guys down in Helldivers 2. Memory recalls they had personal shields which often required plasma and laser weapons to really whittle down. Make sure to check in down below if you were around during those OG days. Without a doubt, they were the most high-concept, borderline fantasy sci-fi species, kind of like facing an alternate reality version of the Protoss from StarCraft. Their massive unit, the Tripod Walker, is undoubtedly going to be absolutely epic to take on, somewhere between a Factory Walker and a Bile Titan, but firing some epic pew-pew lasers on top. I recall using the original OP primary weapon against them, the Trident shotgun. That's one I have no doubt all of you old-school Helldivers crew are eagerly awaiting to make its grand return. There's nothing quite like a laser shotgun with infinite ammo to give the Sickle a run for its money. Anyway, let me know what you guys think the devs have cooked up next. Are we going to see a resurgence of the automatons, or are they straight up introducing a new race for us to fight, or do you think we'll just be farming bugs for the next few weeks? Have yourself a great victory celebration day, and I'll see you for our Warbond stress test very soon.